This is really bothering me. Literally nobody understands how much they're being played. The people you look up to,
they're blinded,
are all fake. Like you go there and you scream and cry over them, and you wanna, like, you envision yourself being them, buying $1 million cars. They think it's off trading. How are people this blindsided?
You know why? You know why it's so bad too?
What?
It's because they've been doing it for too long.
For years.
Years.
They're so upset that God gave me that prophecy in 2019 when they blew up. Because now I'm going blind for them. But I just have to continue to pray that God will put me in the position to be able to fight their position. Because there's no battle God can't lose, you know? But they're going to try. But no, that really messed me up, bro. Everybody's being played. And nobody knows. But they're about to know.
Oh yeah.
TV
How's your day been?
God has just been showing me so much. I felt like Adam and Eve when they ate the forbidden fruit. Because I know way more than I wish I would have. And everybody else is walking around like they're still naked. Meanwhile, I know I need to be clothed. And so do they. But without the pain and punishment.
Speaking facts.
Traders Global is a fraud. $315 million in less than 2 years. It doesn't make sense to me. So about 2 months ago, right, I made the video exposing the trading industry, and I talked about how prop firms are the main thing that I think is really, really hurting the trading industry. Not even gurus, not the fake marketing accounts, not the flashy lifestyles, not any of these courses, whatever it is that people may have conflicting opinions about, right? I believe that the prop firm industry was because it's an industry that directly targets you. It tells you pay $500 and you're gonna get access to $100,000. Insane, right? That you can pay for less than 1% of the price and get the full thing to kind of have access to. And it teaches you proper risk management because you have a drawdown limit and a daily risk limit and all this. I don't want to hear it, right? There's so many prop firms. Can we talk about that? My Forex Funds is one of the prop firms that I mentioned in my video. And in this video, when I was talking about it, I was saying that the entire scheme overall, despite how misleading it is to traders who actively feel like they're trading investors' money when really it's just demo accounts that then get put on live accounts that sometimes aren't always actual live accounts, that it runs as a pyramid scheme. A Ponzi scheme, if you call it. And I said that because I said it seems kind of triangular. Why? Because what happens is people pay for this account, they fail. When you get paid out, let's say you make money, you get paid out with people that fails dollars. So if I pay $500 and I lose my account, but then you make $300, a portion of my $500 is going to you. There's no downside for prop firms. They can only run a loss if more traders get paid out than traders that sign up. And since the requirements to get paid out are so extensive, a payout is unlikely to happen. Sounds kind of triangular, doesn't it? That's not okay. It's not something that should ever be okay. And I have been in the rooms, I have talked to people who know the ins and outs of the prop firm industry, who know exactly how it operates, who know exactly how it works, and who know how detrimental it is to you, that have told me these things. Kelly, this is what we purposely do. And I hated it so much that I came to you guys and I made a whole video and I tried to tell you without being able to say the names, without being able to tell you directly, this is what's going on. Because that's not my place. And it puts me in a dangerous position. But it doesn't matter what I thought, because thankfully, the US government saw the same thing I did. And they decided to charge my Forex funds with misleading, deceitfulness, and ultimately fraud because of everything that I talked about in the video. But you know what? I am going to read out some of the literal statements from this document. And forgive me if this isn't structured. This isn't me reading off a script. I never read off a script in my videos. This is just me going, and it's frustrating. Like I said, it's frustrating. My Forex funds is a DBA, which means they're doing business as. So when you're a legal entity, you can have a separate name that you also go by. So my name is Kelly, but I go by Kelly Ohgee, right? That would kind of be my DBA if I had a business. So their actual business was called Traders Global. However, their DBA was My Forex Funds. It was just a subsection of the company. Okay, so Traders Global, according to the CFTC, is, aka the US government, if you're confused what that is, right? As they state, this is on the very, like, I wish I was lying when I said this, not the first page, but the second page. It says in paragraph 3, first sentence, Traders Global is a fraud. In reality, Traders Global, not a third-party liquidity provider, is the counterparty to substantially all customer trades. Traders Global does not, therefore, make money when customers make money. Traders Global loses when customers make money. Prop firms have always been incentivized, have always advertised themselves as, we only win when you win. We only get 20%. This is real investor funds. We're trusting in you to be a professional trader. That's never been the case. If prop firms genuinely were only 20% profitable, if you are profitable and they're eating all the risk and losing money to their investors and they claim they're raising all this money, if that was truly the case, there would not be a new prop firm popping up every single day. There's your favorite influencers are starting their own prop firms. Random guys who've never traded Forex are starting their own prop firms. People who came from stocks are starting their own prop firms. I mean, everybody is starting their own prop firm. Why? Because it is so ridiculously, lucratively profitable. Ridiculously. It's frustrating. It frustrates me because it's like I said in the video, $75 million is what I was projected to make and I ever started a prop firm. I never do that because I want you guys to actually have something that works for you. Now, would I start a legitimized prop firm? Maybe sometime in the future, 5-10 years, right? That I'm like, we have actual funds we can deploy to traders because we can eat the loss if they don't win. But I want you to at least have access to that. But I'm not going to start a cash flow funded organization so that I can live great in my, let me actually tell you what the CEO of My Forex Funds purchased with the money that was paid to him, because I want you guys to see what these people are doing with your money. So let's go over the numbers. Let's get right into it, right? So during the relevant period in which Traders Global serviced over 100,000 people, they made approximately $310 million with over 172 being net income, meaning profit. They kept $172 million profit. In the past 2 years, they've existed before 2 years. This is what the government has been able to calculate and seeing their records. Now, this is what the CEO of somebody who claims that they only make money when you make money, but really they love when you fail, because we're gonna get into that. This is what they make. In April of 2022, the CEO, Cosme, paid $1.6 million to purchase a Lamborghini Aventador at an auction. Insane. I wonder what Aventador that was, because 1.6 is a lot. In December 2022, he paid $3.3 million for a Bugatti. A Bugatti. 3.3. Hold on. This is your hard-earned money that should be benefiting you. And if this was a legitimate operation as a business, I would absolutely be like, you know what? He worked his butt off. He created impact. At least he tried. He deserves the car. He did what he had to do. That's not the case in point here, no. And then in April and May, he put $4.9 million down towards a $12.6 million mansion. Oh, you're looking at the mansion right here. I mean, marble everywhere. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands, in just the wine cellar alone. Grand master bedroom. I mean, it's a gorgeous house. Do you see the pool? Oh, thank you for funding it. I wanted to say that because that was all you. I'm really frustrated right now, to be honest. He paid $1.3 million to also purchase a 5-bedroom home in New Jersey, which is also where the company was orchestrated. So this is all from the US government. This is not Kelly's opinion anymore, because Kelly tried to give you an opinion. He still wanted to give them money. That's fine. I hate the fact that I'm right. I hate it, because The last thing I wanted was to see you fail, which is why I would put my reputation on the line to make sure you succeed. Because my biggest thing is, if we're gonna create and build out a product, let it be something that's incentivizing and helping traders. For the past couple months and into the next year, I've been building out and will continue to be building out an actual product that is going to revolutionize the industry and is going to actually help you. So it frustrates me when I see that people are just straight money hungry and would prefer to see you fail as long as they can, drive around a $3.3 million Bugatti, Paragraph 4 says, Traders Global pays customers who trade successfully, but substantially, all of their payouts come from the fees paid by other customers. I wonder if that seems triangular, but you know what? Let's ask the US government, who then proceeds to say in the very next line, in a manner similar to a Ponzi scheme. I said it before I was hated on. Let me tell you something, guys. There is no downside for prop firms. They can only run a loss if more traders get paid out than traders that sign up. Sounds kind of triangular, doesn't it? Let me tell you something. I had video after video after video after video after video made about me, hating on me, that didn't relate to the topic at hand. I asked them, I said, where do you get your liquidity from? Where is it? I posted, I said, if you're gonna make an exposed video, don't attack my character, don't attack who I am, answer the actual questions. Answer the questions. I mean, prop firm owners were coming after me. People who get a cut of prop firms, people who have equity in prop firms, your favorite influencers that are taking equity in these prop firms and then making YouTube videos telling you about how great they are. Why? Because when you sign up, it makes them money. Me, I personally wouldn't promote a product that I don't actually stand behind. I have no equity in any product that I've ever marketed to you other than my own company. None. Absolutely none. I don't get a single dollar more. I don't have this secret deal that everybody thinks I have. And so it frustrates me again. When I try and I get paraded, get caught a liar, I get caught a scammer, I get caught all these things when I was only trying to help these people because I've seen how it destroys lives. Everyone wants to show you the glamorous side of having a prop firm. They'll say, oh, I'm funded this much and I'm funded this much and I'm a 6-figure funded trader and a 7-figure funded trader. You haven't made the money. Stop calling yourself a funded trader. You haven't made the money. So don't say I'm a 7-figure funded trader. $2.2 million funded and $1.3 million funded. That's not their money. It's all a demo. It's a simulation. You don't have 7 figures. Stop trying to promote yourself in that manner. It's misleading. It's fraud. Okay? So don't say I'm a millionaire trader. You're not a millionaire trader. You may have funding, wherever that funding might be coming from, because nobody answered the liquidity question. So I guess the government's about to do it for us. But that is what's really, really, really frustrating to me is I made this video and I put a lot of time and a lot of money into making sure this video was great. Because I said, these people need to understand I shouldn't be the only one just because I have a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers that I should be the one that gets access to this information because people want to give me a cut so they tell me the truth. And I'm like, I'm not taking your cut and I'm going to tell people the truth. But anyways, Ponzi scheme. You pay for other people's profits. You're not actually using investors' money. I broke it down to you guys. It takes $5,000 to start a prop firm. If you want to do it semi-okay, what, $30,000. If you want to do it the right way, it's over $500,000, which they don't do because that's too much of a barrier to entry. Then it says, not from the proceeds of profitable trading against liquidity providers. So you're not trading against brokers. They're just recycling the money. I watched a documentary. It was Bernie Madoff's documentary on Netflix because he's the infamous Ponzi schemer, pyramid scheme, whatever you want to call it. He would take investors' money. He'd never invest it. He'd just recycle it to pay other investors or he'd fund his lifestyle. It's kind of what I think we're hearing here, except this is extremely lucrative and extremely profitable because you're not going into an investment. You think you're investing in yourself when really you're just hurting yourself. But let's go to the next line. So listen, this is what the US government says in paragraph 5. This is the very next one. We're still on page 3 here. In order for Traders Global to generate a profit, Traders Global has to collect more in fees that it pays to successful customers. In order to do this, Traders Global uses various devices to minimize the likelihood of profitable trading by customers and reduce the amount of profits Traders Global has to pay successful successful customers. They don't like to pay. They don't want to pay. These devices include using a drawdown limit. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in my other video, as a bad faith pretext to terminate customer accounts. The drawdown isn't to help you practice proper risk management. It's to make sure they have control over activating it when you get too profitable. You think this hasn't been set up purposely to make sure you fail? Because if you fail, you'll be running back to make another purchase. And as long as you make another purchase, they get to keep making those posts because they still have a running company. Misleading assessing Traders Global's own commissions to reduce customer account equity. You're gonna find out later in this that there was no giant liquidity provider. There wasn't a broker that they were going and actually taking commissions from. It was just them charging you because they wanted to, and they could have taken more money and they wanted to do that. Secretly using specialized software to stack the odds against customers by 1, delaying execution of customer orders, or 2, executing the orders at worse prices than appeared to the customer at the time an order was sent, aka your slippage. So when people say we have very tight slippage, or slippage is really good, yeah, that's great. And it's always gonna be like that in the demo, because what they don't tell you is when you actually get a live account, they're gonna do everything in their power to make sure that slippage is absolutely insane and to make sure you don't make the money. Seen it with my own 2 eyes, heard about it from my own 2 eyes, and with my own 2 ears, because, I mean, they hear a lot of things, and I try to tell you guys enough to allow you to know the same things, because nobody else in the industry wants to do it. Why? Because a lot of people in the industry really just care about getting a check. And I'm so grateful to God because he blessed me with an amazing business and an amazing skill that has allowed me to make a lot of money myself. And I'm very good in life. It's a good amount of money. And I'm doing okay that I don't need anyone to kind of put a pacifier in my mouth so that way I follow their rules just so I can get a paycheck at the end of the day. I don't need to do that. And I don't care to do that, okay? What do they also do to mislead traders? They send orders from an extremely small number of successful customers to an overseas counterparty. You would consider this B booking, but there isn't really an A book because, well, you'll find out about that. So everybody's being B booked. Everybody's being manipulated, played with, but then using a specialized software to artificially increase the distance between the best bid or offer, referred to as the spread. Your spread? Tight spreads? No, it's not happening. To create the false appearance of decreased customer profits and increased customer losses. They made $172 million profit. Not that a business shouldn't be profitable. Not that a business shouldn't be profitable. I think businesses should be profitable, but businesses should also deliver on a service that they are promising. So, as the government has said, this defendants, it's 5 a.m., is a profitable one. Meaning he made $172 million gross and transferred tens of millions of that to his personal account. The CEO of My Forex Funds is Murtuza Kazmi, okay? This is all a document that is put together by Commodities Futures Trading Commission. So they're the ones they're the trading commission, right? The big dogs. They're like the Securities and Exchange Commission for big finance bosses. Think of it as a RICO charge for the government and for traders, because if you get hit with this, you're done. They've done all their due diligence, they've done all their research, they have all their evidence. You're about good as done. You're finished. It's not like, oh, we think you might be, and of course this is all alleged information, but the government does their dirty work, and if they're gonna spend a lot of money on lawyers to go to court, they're gonna make sure they're gonna win in court. That's just how they operate. Now, in interviews with the CEO of My Forex Funds, he would go on and say, if you lose all that money, it's not only you that's losing, it's us as well, right? Because we want to make you profitable so we can be profitable. I have found that the "I want to help you" rhetoric being pushed is only truly to help themselves. Trust me, guys, I'm trying to plead for you. These people at the top of the industry sit and laugh at the fact that you are money hungry, and they use it against you time and time again. I care so much about you guys. I care so much about every single person that cares about me. It's crazy to see a number and be like, I have 235,000 subscribers, or I have 150,000 followers, 200, like wherever it is, right? To see that number, it just kind of feels like a person, or not a person, just a number. You kind of start looking at the accolades. You get excited. But for me, I'm like, these are people, and each and every single one of you have expressed interest in what I'm saying. So if I can deliver value, how am I going to do it? How am I going to? And so you guys know I'm the very first person to tell you trading is not easy, and you'll lose a lot of money trading. You got to pay that market tuition. That's a part of it. Don't think you're going to come in and make $100,000 your first month. Does it happen to some people? Absolutely. Does it last? Usually not. Maybe sometimes. But to see a CEO blatantly trying to take your money and paint themselves as, listen, we only make money if you do. while knowing that they're buying a $1.6 million car and another $3.3 million car, and then put a combined total of that amount into a freaking $14 million house and another $2 million house all off your back, and they're lying each and every single day to try to paint that to you. That's not something that I will ever stand for. It's not something that I can stand for. It's not something that I'm going to sit here and defend.
I can't continue to allow you to be brainwashed openly and be mocked.
Let's continue. There were over 4 times that I read in this document that they kept saying, when customers win, Traders Global loses. Section B, this is on page 13. You can read this document yourself. I'll put it in the description. In bold letters, it says Traders Global is a fraud. This is the #2 largest prop firm in the world. And then it makes you wonder if every other prop firm is a white label of the other, and a white label is when you can take a company's components, right? So let's say you come to me and you say, Kelly, I want the Kelly Ohgee brand or whatever. And I'm like, hey, you can have the Kelly Ohgee brand. You just gotta, you know, mix it up a little, change the name, orchestrate it as whatever you want. You can do that. So they white label companies. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens all the time. That's fine. But if the #2 prop firm in the world is a fraud, according to the US government, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, the official, if they have labeled this company as a fraud and they're #2, what does that make you think about 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the other ones that white labeled each other? Because they understood the business model very clearly. That's why you saw a new one popping up every single week. It got to the point it was every couple months, every couple weeks, every week, every day, multiple times a day. Why is your favorite trader starting a prop firm every single day? And I'm not upset with them for starting the prop firms. It's a genius business model. It is so profitable. I'm not upset with anybody for doing it. I have no bad blood toward any trader, influencer, businessman, whoever started prop firms. My issue is not them until the business starts being run in a misleading and fraudulent manner, where it's being promoted as what it isn't, and where you're tearing other people down to be able to build yourself up. That's a cowardly move. I don't like that. That's where it becomes an issue. Now, as we continue, anytime customers make money, Traders Global loses money. That's what this document says time and time and time again. Literally on page 13, you see it at least twice, at the top and at the bottom. They want to make sure you know. They want to make sure you know. Customers do not trade live funds against multiple liquidity providers or actual accounts against brokers, nor do customers share in trading profits. Hear me out. Or hear the government out. Don't hear me, because y'all didn't hear me before. As Traders Global claims, in reality, customers trade against Traders Global in an electronic trading environment that Traders Global controls. They created a bot, a system, an actual software that simulates the market, but it isn't the actual market. So when you think you're trading the market, they are just manipulating the way that you see things. They are manipulating the way that the market's moving. And if you are correct in the market, they're like, nope, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not.
Or you will be penalized. And even if you do follow all the rules, they can still penalize you for no reason at all.
So substantially, all of these so-called profits come from fees that Traders Global collected from other customers in a manner similar to, again, the government says it, a Ponzi scheme. We pay the guy at the top by funds from people at the bottom. And as long as people at the bottom come, we're going to continue to pay the guy at the top. But if these people don't come, we're not going to pay the guy at the top. We're going to manipulate it. So we have to make sure we're in control of the system. This is exactly similar to what Bernie Madoff did. Watch this documentary on Netflix. Watch it anywhere. It doesn't have to be Netflix. He pretended to simulate an actual bank account and had people create a software that made it look like it was the stock market that was actually moving. So anybody that said, well, Bernie, where are my funds? How are they being traded? He showed you a fake software that mirrored everything the real one did. It was insane. But hey, when you give somebody $300 million, I'm pretty sure they can do something absolutely amazing, as well as create a software that's pretty identical to the market and manipulate you out of your trade. So all the times you wondered, was I just not a good trader? Sometimes, maybe you weren't a good trader. And other times, maybe you were amazing and they just took your money. I wouldn't discredit both, because we're gonna get to, just wait till I conclude, but I just want to get through this. It's just frustrating. The drawdown rule is not intended, as Traders Global claims, to enforce good trading habits or lock in profits. The purpose of the drawdown rule is to provide Traders Global with a bad faith pretext to disable customer accounts. If I give you drawdown, I can make sure you hit drawdown because I'm in control. But if you're actually good and you know how to avoid it, well, that hurts me. Because imagine this. Imagine you make $50,000. $50,000 from my Forex funds. If they pay you that $50,000, let's say that's after they take their fee. If they pay you that $50,000, their $100,000 account is $500. They would need 1,000 people to sign up for their $500 account just to make back what you took from them. They hate it. They don't actually make money when they're not like, hey, you're the good guy. We're gonna give you 85% of everything that we make. We're only gonna be 15% profitable. The average business is 30% profitable. Please make it make sense, because it doesn't. Oh, well, it clearly doesn't. We figured that out.
It simply does not make sense. And everyone inside knows that.
These so-called commissions are simply a charge against customer account equity imposed by Traders Global. They're not actual commissions from a third party that is taking these trades. No, Traders Global controls it, okay? Cool. Traders Global uses specialized software to automatically add delay or slippage to customers' orders. Traders Global does this in order to reduce the likelihood or amount of a customer's profitable trading. The CFTC, I don't have to say anything anymore. I keep saying that I hate the fact that I was right. Because so badly, I even started to think, I was like, you know what, all this hate I'm getting, maybe I didn't do enough research. Maybe, I don't know, nah. Kelly, you did more than enough. During the relevant period, Traders Global took in approximately $310 million. Now, Traders Global had an employee that had a rev share, which means that he got a percentage of the company's profits. So he was very incentivized to make sure that the company was very profitable, because it made him more money and it made him more profitable. So as he was talking to his advisors in this document, they refer to him as the head of risk and trading. So they're going to call him Traders Global Employee A, because he was the head of risk and trading. He says that on January 31st, 2022, they tracked them from November 2021 to current. So if you ever think like the government's not watching, they're always watching, and you should act as such. And even if they're not watching, act like they're watching. You know, always keep your 10 toes down. So the Traders Global employee said that one of their traders appeared to somehow be beating our system with arbitrage. If the strategy works for a month, we will lose more than $1 million. Although his latest account broke the rules, that's why he is stopped.
So if at any point you make more money than they would like, they could simply disregard your trade. Now, if that's the top prop firm in the industry, think about the rest.
We lost about 100K. We're so happy because he got funded over $100,000. That's really good for us. It makes us look good. We're helping change people's lives. No, it wasn't that. It was, if he makes $1 million, no, we don't want to make people millionaires. This is not to influence anybody in any way. The company that I am currently building out to make sure it actually helps traders. I literally am I've been praying over it, trying to put the numbers together. How can I put a compensation plan together that has people on track to be able to make $1 million a year from the company? Because that's the new standard I want to set. As some of you know, I've made multiple millions in my short span of life so far, and I'll have many more years to come, amen. But in that time period, I've been able to experience so many different things, change people's lives, change my family's life, take us out of where we were, which was a very low-income family, to a very great place. And God has always taken care of us, you know, but the experiences I've had being able to make $1 million, I want everybody to have. So I'm literally like, how do I get people to the point to where we're able to pay them $1 million? That's my excitement. I didn't realize until, you know, discussing it with other CEOs that that's like quite possibly the worst thing that people want to hear. And according to them, let's shut down this guy's account before he makes $1 million, or we're in for a heavy loss. Now, on June 6th, 2022, employee A, the head of risk, this is what he says. I have suspended one of these traders for arbitrage and requested he send the source code of the EA Expert Advisor, an automated trading program, to unsuspend the account. I really need to know what they are doing so I can either ban them or STP them, which is when he sends them to an offshore broker and make sure they fail, which they're likely going to fail because they're trading the real markets, and the real markets are very difficult. It's like being a fish surrounded by sharks and water. he's got like 100K of pending to withdraw. So I need something to stop that money from going out. You think he'd be excited? You think he'd be like, oh my gosh, he has 100K. We get to market this. We get to promote this. It's amazing. We're changing lives. No, I need to stop that money from going out. So I believe that he is using a bot. Because he's using a bot, I need to figure out whose bot this is, why it works so well. I need to ban him, I need to ban them, and I need to make sure he doesn't get paid. Now this is really crazy because about a couple weeks ago, there was a trader who, whether or not he was using a bot, I don't know, he was trading very profitably. And this is when I started to raise my eye really at prop firms of like, why are we not as professional as a company should be? But he went and was making a lot of money. Then all these prop firms on Twitter came together and they said, I think he's using a bot, or we have evidence, or whatever it was. We're gonna ban him. We don't wanna pay him out. And then people started to question, don't you get happy if he makes a lot of money though? Because you get that. That is how you make your money, right? If he makes a lot, that's good for you and your investors. They don't exist. Very few customers of ours made money, big volume, but also big losses. That's what one of the advisors told the head of risk and trading. You know what the head of risk and trading responded when he heard that very few people made money and that there were a lot of losses? He said, that's great to hear. Like, it just gets worse. And then May 19, 2022, the head of risk and trading said, our traders are getting slaughtered today. The advisor said, oh, like overall? Or a ton getting shut off from drawdowns? And the head of risk and trading said, both, I think. And the advisor goes, nice. Our traders are getting slaughtered. Nice. Brutally destroyed in the markets. Nice. June 15, 2022, head of risk and trading. We violated more accounts than made today. So hopefully the net is massive loss. Then page 21, third bullet point. From the head of risk, he says, slip them to hell. If anybody's making money, slip them to hell. This is essentially what he says, right? Because when they found out that people were using bots to successfully make money, because remember, they only make money when you make money, of course. So it should be an okay thing if people are using bots, but no, it's not good. You're gaming our system, our fraudulent system, according to the CFTC. He says, I think we need another profile just for these accounts and just slip them to hell.
These people at the top of the industry sit and laugh at the fact that you are money hungry, and they use it against you time and time again because you live and are driven by the dream of the success stories that are pushed, but not the realism of what it takes to get there.
Then, June 22nd, 2022, let's repeat it. I think we need to all subscribe to the concept that your clients will almost never have alpha, as in they will never be dominant, they will never be able to really win. None of them will make money on real market conditions because they are good. Some will because they're lucky. These people understood it very early on that the markets are hard. They simulated their system so you thought maybe you were better than you were. And they understood that skill, when you add all these restrictions, is much more difficult than when somebody is allowed free reign to develop their own trading system. It's like, what I don't understand is these prop firms will make 18% total, right? 10% first day, 8%, 10% challenge, 8% verification, phase 1, phase 2. But in the stock market, a really good return is 8% a year from the #1 index fund in the world, the S&P 500. But you have to make 18% in 30 days? Okay. Anyways, so then the statements of everything that was put together, because they went through all the statements, they found out that it tracked to the CEO, they found out that they were taken by everything, right? And so they were trying to track, okay, where are they getting this money from? How are they paying people out? And so just to reiterate, these statements of funds received from purchase accounts reflected that Traders Global distributes these funds to a smaller set of customers as purported trading profits. Your fee pays for somebody else's profit. Somebody else's fee pays for your profits. It's a Ponzi scheme. Once people stop paying, what happens? Why can nobody answer the question? Because they know the truth. And people will tell you, we're based in Dubai, we're based in Southeast Asia, we're based in South Africa, we're based wherever. So y'all don't have to worry about the US government coming after us. They never said they weren't fraudulent. They said they weren't based in America. That's actually gonna have some checks and balances over their funds. I'm not saying other countries won't do that. I'm just saying the CFTC is an American-based government organization. So they're going to come after American companies before anybody else. They sometimes, and a lot of times, will also go after overseas. But when companies are telling you, oh, we're not based in America, don't worry about it, they're saying the CFTC can't come after us whether or not we're fraudulent because they're American, we're not. That doesn't excuse anything. It shouldn't put comfort in your hearts. Don't listen to companies that are doing giveaways and are thriving off the fact that my Forex funds is shutting down, because it makes them now have a playing field to make even more money off you. But at some point, you as a trader also has to take that accountability. Every single time we get away with blaming the system, but we're the ones that continue to allow the system to rule. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, that we have to take a stand against this. We have to stop paying the same thing that is hurting us. We have to accept that there is a certain level of greed that we have to say, I am going to try and treat my journey. I haven't even made $1,000 in the market, but I want to go buy a $100,000 account. I want to buy a $50,000 account. You're not used to seeing that loss. And losing your real money versus losing somebody else's money, two completely different things. If you buy a brand new car, you're going to be so scared of getting any scratch on it anywhere. You're going to be driving really slow. You're going to make sure you're looking in both your mirrors. But if your friend gets a car and you're driving your friend's car, you're not going to have the same regard. If you go to rent a car from a local rental shop, you're not going to be, because it's not your baby. So at what point are we going to value the dollars we have and stop feeding into people who are buying luxury items and making sure we fail so they can continue to keep up that lifestyle? At what point does it end? Because Kelly is fed up. And I want you to understand that you can make it happen. You can do it. There was a time where prop firms weren't as popular. And of course, people are going to be like, if I could have went back and started trading 5 years ago, well, listen, guys, I wish prop firms were around. That's why I created my own. Make sure, link in the description, you go and join. They know what the code to $100 million is. They know what the code to $50 million is. They know what the code to $1 million a month is. Sell people the dream. Make them feel like they have the potential to make 50,000, 100,000, whatever amount it is.
These firms are so successful because of your desire to make more money that they are promising you the jackpot, and you keep buying their lottery tickets.
But don't actually give them that money, and don't actually allow them to get it. Because we have to stay profitable. We have to make sure we have a good amount of funds. And some people may say, well, he made $100 million, 300, whatever it was. He made all this money. Why was he not satisfied? Because even when you go from $1,000 to $10,000, you say, I want 100,000. You get to 100,000, you're like, I want $1 million. At $1 million, you're like, I want 10 million. At 10 million, you're like, I want 100 million. So you think a man at 100 million is like, I'm cool. Or you think he's like, you know what? I want $1 billion. That's what happens to us as a society. But we have to take accountability that this is not my Forex fund's fault. They sold a dream. They didn't deliver. They were fraudulent. These are stuff that are allegations, not fully true, hasn't been proven yet, but a lot of evidence is behind it that I would assume that it's probably very true, very close to factual information. But at the end of the day, we fed the system day in and day out. Has it changed some people's lives? Absolutely. But how many has it affected? Those are the stories we never hear. Those are the stories I get every day in my direct messages, in my email, through text. I see in person. It destroys lives, opportunities, families, because you think that it's helping you and it's not.
Listen, it's time we took a stand against the people at the top who have thrived there off of the stress and sweat of your belief in yourself. The more we come together, the more they must abide by your rules versus controlling you. When you depend on no one, you create your world. So stop letting them continue to pull the strings.